Mario Kart World, the $80 game. Now I know everyone wants to know if a Mario Kart game is ever gonna be worth $80. Now, I would like to say, no, it's not. I don't think any game is worth $80, but I know times are changing. I remember the days where I thought a $60 brand new game was expensive. Oh, how naive I was. Look, honestly, I don't really know if the game is worth the price. I think it's too early to tell. I don't even know if World is better than 8. That's a huge reason I'm making this video. I want to really get into this game and see how good it truly is. The Mario Kart series has always been a go-to game if you want to have a blast with friends or even solo. Well, it always starts fun. By the end of the session, 2 of the 4 people will end up dead, while the other 2 are severely injured. Yeah, who knew this Mario game got that serious, huh? Anyway, let's play Mario Kart World. When it comes to Mario Kart, the first mode I always get into is the Grand Prix. The Grand Prix is a Mario Kart staple, being there since the very beginning. The way the Grand Prix works is pretty simple. There are different cups to race in, and the goal is to get 3rd or better to get the cup. Each cup has 4 different races. Mario World has a total of 8 cups. The Mushroom Cup, Flower Cup, Star Cup, Shell Cup, Banana Cup, Leaf Cup, Lightning Cup, and finally, the Special Cup. The Mushroom Cup has the stages Mario Bros. Circuit, Crown City, Whistle Stop Summit, and DK Spaceport. Mario Bros. Circuit is your standard circuit stage. This circuit is located in a desert area. The course isn't too long, which it's not supposed to be. Again, this feels like a standard course to introduce you to the new mechanics of the game. Crown City takes place, well, in a city, of course. The idea behind this map is it's gonna take you through a construction zone. Here you get to jump from street to street while up in the air since the streets are being held up by the cranes. It does put you back in the city though. The city is a long straightaway, which I know it sounds boring, but this game introduces a couple of new mechanics that really help out. But I will get into that later in the video. The next stage is called Whistle Stop Summit. This stage revolves around the new grinding mechanic. This stage's setting is a train station, with trains and rails being the gimmick. There are some roads to break the pace up a bit, but honestly, I wasn't a big fan of the rails. That was how I first thought of it, but now that I'm understanding the railing mechanic more and more, it's getting a bit better. Keep in mind that this game is new, so there's a lot of room for opinions to change, including mine. And finally, the Mushroom Cup ends off on DK Spaceport. This stage takes inspiration from the original Donkey Kong game, and I am here for it. You start by flying in, letting you see the construction zone towers. Then you're greeted by a giant mechanical Donkey Kong who makes his way to the top of the tower. Each level has its own little challenge and set pieces. For instance, one level you're bouncing super high avoiding these small barrels, then the next you're grinding on rails trying to get as much speed as possible. This level ends with you avoiding these big giant barrels that the mechanical Donkey Kong is throwing. This was a fantastic way to end off the Mushroom Cup. Anyway, next is the Flower Cup. Here we have the stages Desert Hills, Shy Guy Bazaar, Wario Stadium, and Airship Fortress. Desert Hills is this game's first nothing level for me. It's just sand. Who would have thought, huh? Nothing really sticks out, like, at all. The track has, roads. I don't really know what else to say about this one. When you're not driving on the road, you're just driving on sand hills. Cool, I guess? I don't know. I will say though, these little face statue guys are cool. That's about the only positive I have to say about this course. Let's just move on to Shy Guy Bazaar. This track has you racing around Daisy's castle. Well, it's actually just the town part. Her castle is off in the distance. This level is better than the previous one, but not by much, honestly. I do like the feeling of racing down these narrow streets, and there is a lot of alternative paths you can take. But again, the whole desert theme isn't really anything to write home about. I mean, even in real life, who wants to look at a desert? It's just hot and sandy. Another positive was the actual bazaar part of the stage. I don't know, I just like that part. Can't really say why. I just do. Next stage is Wario Stadium, and let me tell y'all, the second half of this cup is some heat. This course is just a blast to play through. The stage is set in this one. You got the grand entrance showing off this really cool Wario nose. Never thought I'd say someone's nose looked cool, but hey, here we are. You got the crowd hyping you up every trick you perform. And let me tell y'all, this map is full of ramps, letting you do tricks basically the whole time you're here. Part of why I really like this stage is because of how many opportunities there are to do the tricks. It really keeps that speed going. Then you end off on this big ramp, and as you pass by, the flames light up. Such a good course, man. They really nailed the whole Mad Max dome thing going on. It's some good stuff. And to end the Flower Cup off, we have Airship Fortress. Back-to-back bangers here. We start off by driving up this broken down castle wall. Then we see the airship. This map feels like we're in the middle of a battlefield. We have to drive while avoiding the airship's bullet bills, then we make it to the actual airship. We make our way inside the ship. I thought it was really cool to see the ship operating from the inside. We get to actually see how the bullet bills are loaded up before getting shot. I love little details like this. I know it's small, but it really does help the world building, which is always something I'll appreciate. Finally, we blast our way out of one of the cannons into the broken down castle, spiraling our way out. Something else I can appreciate is the setting here. The clouds are dark. We see other smaller airships also blasting their cannons. Every time we're outside, there's volcano ash raining down on us. Such a cool environment. And that's it for the Flower Cup. It started off slow, but once it got going, it really got going. The next cup is the Star Cup. The courses here are DK Pass, Starview Peak, Sky High Sundae, and Wario Shipyard. DK Pass is this game's snowboarding stage. We start by going through this tunnel and driving on this curvy road. Then we head on ice through a small wooden area before finally making it to the snow. Honestly, this map is nothing crazy. I feel like the past skiing / snowboarding stages in the other Mario Kart games did it a lot better. The next place is Starview Peak. This level takes place in a frozen castle. I think. I'm pretty sure. We're still in the snowy biome, so this castle has snow and ice covering it. We start off by making our way through the castle or whatever it is. Then we head on what I think is stained glass roads. Here, we got a green and yellow path. You're free to choose whatever path you want, but they ultimately lead to the same place. That place is a ramp that lets you fly to our next little area, and wow, this set piece is just straight up beautiful. The road we drive on is this floating river-like area. The water here looks absolutely amazing. It's glistening, we have these giant snowflake statues and booths to drive through. The sky here is amazing. We got the neon lights paired with the stars in the night sky. Then we ended off by flying back into the castle. Man, talk about a visually pleasing level. Next course is Sky High Sundae. You can probably tell by the name of this course, but this place is made of ice cream and candy. This is a fine little level, but I do think the best thing about this level is the setting itself. The road is made of ice cream cones. We're surrounded by giant popsicles that act as little mountains. We have this section where we fly and we can choose whether or not we want to fly through this little ice cream cone. I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. We do one last drift, then this level is over. Short and sweet. No pun intended. To end off, we got Wario's Shipyard. This place is dark and rainy. We're in an abandoned looking ship port. Well, this place is called a shipyard, so that would make sense. This map has us mainly driving on water, which I think is pretty cool. There's not really a big set piece here in this one. We got broken down ships surrounding us, and I always love that sort of vibe. I think this map is solid enough, but I think they could have executed this idea just a bit better. Overall though, this was a solid way to end off this cup. The next cup is the Shell Cup. The stages here are Koopa Troopa Beach, Faraway Oasis, Crown City, and Peach Stadium. Let's start with Koopa Troopa Beach, and damn, these guys know how to party. I should have know that since the first time I seen them hit one of those bop bop dances. Anyway, this level brings you to the beachy side, driving on sand and water, hitting these rocks for a boost, all fun stuff. This level does not last long though. It's an extremely short circle, which is probably why it's 5 laps long. If it was 3, 1 blink and you're done. It being 5 laps just means it'll take you 2 blinks now. Since this level is so short, I don't have much to really talk about. I do think the whole rave vibe going on is cool though. Next stage is Faraway Oasis. This one had so much potential. When I saw the animals on the little picture, I thought they were gonna play a bigger role, but nope, they're just there in the background. You can barely even see them. This level is just boring to me, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, we drive through a river, then this waterfall thing, and that's about it. I don't know, I just feel like it could have been cooler. Next level is Crown City. Wait, I talked about this place already, didn't I? Reusing levels, huh, Shell Cup? Let's see, does it at least look different? I mean, it does take place in a different part of the city, so that's cool, I guess. Also, it's nighttime this time. I don't know, still nothing crazy. Time to end off the cup with Peach Stadium. Here we get to drive around in Peach's castle. The inside of the castle looks pretty cool. Well, the background anyway, the course is just road. This one has barely anything to it, honestly. There's twists and turns, I guess. The Shell Cup is definitely the weakest overall so far. The best course here was the beach one, and that really isn't saying much. The next cup is the Banana Cup. This one has the courses Peach Beach, Salty Salty Speedway, Dino Dino Jungle, and Great Question Mark Block Ruins. Peach Beach is a really solid level. I love the town we drive through. The actual beach part is nice too. My favorite part of this has to be in lap 2 where we drive deeper into the town. The architecture and layout is just so good. Flying through the town really helped me get a good view of the place. I also don't mind the water section here either. The layout feels like something jet skis would actually race through. It's all really good stuff. Next race is at Salty Salty Speedway, which is another seaside town. This time the level is more water based, with us driving through a little river that goes through the town. I like how this place feels too. Maybe I'm just a sucker for towns by the water. Anyway, the next level has us move away from the beaches and into the jungle, where we arrive at Dino Dino Jungle. This level is just so cool, it really gives off Jurassic Park vibes. While racing, we encounter different dinosaur species that act as obstacles that can either hurt you or give you shortcuts. We then enter this broken down sort of lab building where we can see the dinosaur eggs. Then we're greeted by a big old T-Rex. This level for me just kept the excitement levels up. I had a blast racing here. And finally we have Great Question Mark Block Ruins. This level starts us off by flying up this huge water spout until we go above the clouds where we see the level. I love the vibe of ancient Aztec civilizations, and that's exactly what this level looks like. I feel like we just discovered this ancient civilization, and I love that. The actual course is great too. Seeing the giant overgrown question mark block in the background is so cool. We drive on old broken down roads and we got these clouds to jump off too. Banana Cup was a really good one. Glad to see that they picked things back up. Next is the Leaf Cup. This one has Cheap Cheap Falls, Dandelion Depths, Boo Cinema, and Dry Bones Burnout. This cup starts off strong with Cheap Cheap Falls. This level is heavily inspired by Japanese culture. The level is full of Japanese buildings that all look great. The majority of the level has you driving down a river. I especially like the water driving here because we're going with the flow of the river, making us go faster. While on the river, we also have to dodge these Cheap Cheeps who are swimming against the river. The level also has a fall vibe to it, with most of the trees having brown leaves. You just know the weather is perfect here. Dandelion Depths is another great level. We start by driving down and traversing this mountain. Then as we descend, we enter a cave. This cave looks really good. It mainly contains water. I think the lighting really sells the scenery here. There's little cracks letting in rays of sunshine that make the water glisten. The walls have little waterfalls streaming down them, and there's this white bushy plants too. We end off by zooming back up the mountain. Next, we got Boo Cinema, and man, this might be my favorite level in the game. We start by driving on these old creaky wooden bridge before making our way into the haunted cinema. We drive around the ticket booth area and make our way inside the theater room. Then we drive inside the movie screen. Here the course turns black and white. We drive around on film displaying a scared Princess Peach. Then we fly out of the screen back into the theater, and finally we head back into the ticket booth room. What a level. I mean, the whole driving into the movie thing was really cool. I love this stage. Time to end off this cup with Dry Bones Burnout. This is another pretty good level. Here we find ourselves in the town of the Dry Bones. It's honestly really cool to see these guys actually have their own town. In Mario Kart 8, all they had was that whack-ass desert. They honestly nailed it here. This place feels perfect for the Dry Bones. I mean, this place has lava lakes that I can see them going for a swim in. Also, what big-ass animal died here? Well, whatever it was, the Dry Bones made great use of its bones. The next cup is the Lightning Cup. Here we got Moo Moo Meadows, Choco Mountain, Toad's Factory, and Bowser's Castle. Moo Moo Meadows is a Mario Kart classic. It's nice and cozy having you drive around a cool little ranch. The cows make a return and they're just chilling, having a good time. The map is a little different from past iterations, but it has basically all the same major set pieces. Don't have too much to say here, but regardless, it's just a classic. Next is Choco Mountain. Choco Mountain is sorta like a monster truck rally. It's dirty, grimy, the roads are made out of dirt, there's mud, tar, some hardcore shit. I mean, it's a fine enough level. There's plenty of areas to go fast and do some tricks, but at the end of the day, it's nothing too crazy. Next is Toad Factory. Toad's Factory is pretty damn sweet. This one will always have a soft spot in my heart. I remember playing this on the Wii way back then. There's something about driving inside a factory that I find so cool. You have the conveyor belts going in opposite directions, having to dodge all the press machines, it's just a blast. Time to end off with this game's version of Bowser's Castle, and damn, this one is sick. The castle is surrounded by lava, and as we approach the castle, we see a giant cloud of ash. We start in this dome area, then we make our way outside and get a better view of the volcano we're driving up. Then we fly up and see this badass fiery cloud version of Bowser. Then we go inside the volcano and see what Bowser is doing in here. I also think the red carpet we drive on is a nice touch, makes the whole place seem more intimidating. Well, besides the lava everywhere, that also makes the place look more intimidating. Anyway, it's time to fly up the lava shooting out. We go through these black clouds shooting lightning, then we're greeted by the giant ash Bowser, who looks so badass. I mean, what a way to end off a cup. The last cup we got is the Special Cup. This one has the stages Acorn Heights, Mario Circuit, Peach Stadium, and Rainbow Road. Acorn Heights is another cozy stage that starts us off by driving around this tree before flying into this valley with giant leaves and mushrooms that we can bounce on to get some speed. There's also vines that we can grind on, adding to our traversal moveset. And finally, we got this area with a lot of different pathways we can take to reach the end. Since I already talked about the next two stages, we can go ahead and talk about Rainbow Road. This stage has to feel like the grand finale it's supposed to be. Well, let's go ahead and see if it does. Wow, what an entrance. This first set piece is everything you'd expect from Rainbow Road. Tight, challenging twists and turns to really test your driving and understanding of the game. Then we fly back onto this type of water road, and yeah, this looks fantastic. The giant crystals and the glowing trees really add a lot to the scenery. We can see these toad guys following us on a flying train before making our way to a space station, Mario Kart 8 style. This area has really sharp turns and thwomps to avoid, keeping you focused. Then we fly back onto Rainbow Road to end it off. I don't know about y'all, but I think this Rainbow Road is amazing. What a great way to end off the Grand Prix. Now, obviously, the Grand Prix isn't the only thing you can do in Mario Kart World. This game has a brand new game mode called Knockout Tour. This might be my favorite game mode in the game. The way it works is all 24 racers race in one long road that has 4 maps connected to it. You're gonna have to get a certain place number or higher than that place number to qualify to the next lap. Each lap will have a certain place number that gets higher and higher. This leads to some fun, fast-paced chaos, which is what Mario Kart is all about. This mode makes me really want to stay ahead of everyone, because if you don't get the place or higher when you pass the lap, then your race is over. You lose. Getting hit will feel way more devastating here, and I personally like it. So something I didn't mention in the Grand Prix is how every map is connected, meaning you have to drive to each course. I think it's a cool concept, but I'm a little mixed about the actual execution of it. While racing to the next track, there's a lot of straightaways. My first time playing, I was not feeling this. I was ready to flame this part of the game, but the more I played it and figured out more ways to move around, like grinding on rails and driving on walls, they became a lot funner. There are still some roads that feel like empty space, but since this is an early retrospective, I don't know if they feel like empty space because I haven't found shortcuts yet. Prior to playing this, the only promotional video I watched for this game was the first reveal, so I didn't know about the new features. When playing for the first time, it was cool to figure out all of the new things. The grinding and the wall driving is some of the coolest stuff ever in a Mario Kart game. I've been seeing some of the crazy tricks people have been doing and I'm like, damn, I want to do shit like that. So that's what I'm practicing. Anyway, your classic Mario Kart game modes make a return here. You have your time trials. This mode lets you pick any track you want and try to get the fastest time you can. I don't really spend too much time here because I'm not really a speedrunner, plus I like getting my experience from the real deal. Versus Race is back and it works the same as in other Mario Karts. Here you can pick whatever settings you want, like frantic items, how many races you want to do, you know, stuff like that. Then you go and race. Battle mode makes a return. It's pretty fun, but playing battle mode alone feels depressing. The actual mode is fine. You get balloon pop and you got coin runners. Balloon pop works the same. Go around getting items to pop everyone's balloons to win. I don't like coin runners, just being straight up with y'all. You gotta collect the most coins to win, but I don't know, I just found it boring. Now the last thing I'm gonna talk about is one of Mario Kart World's biggest selling points, the open world. I'm gonna be honest, I will not be spending too much time here. Okay, look, the idea of an open world Mario Kart game sounds really cool, and the first couple of minutes was really cool. I love the fact that you can see the different maps in the distance. It gave everything a grand sense of scale. The fact that we can drive anywhere we want to, this is cool. Then after a little while, reality sets in and the cracks start showing. The big problem in this mode for me is that there's straight up nothing to do at all. We have these trials, panels, and coins to get, and that's it. So it already gets pretty boring. What doesn't help is that I feel like we drive too slow here. And why the hell do we go so slow off-road in a mode that was advertised by saying drive anywhere you want? Honestly, a few tweaks and a little more to do here and this mode will be leagues better than what it is. It's not the worst thing ever. I guess it's a fun place to just drive around and chill for a bit. So while I do still stand by what I said, saying that it's still too early to tell if the game is worth $80, I do think the game is really fun. Anyway, leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe as it helps me out a ton, and well, I'm out of here.